The purpose of this video is to see how to find the correlation coefficient and analyze the correlation of a large set of data. So the first thing we want to do is highlight the data that we're given and copy it so that we can paste it in Google Sheets, which we'll access by clicking on our resource button up here and opening Google Sheets. Start a new sheet. Click on the first box and right-click and paste the data. So now we have our data in Google Sheets. And we want to find the correlation coefficient. We'll call it CC. And then in the box next to this, where we wrote CC, we'll type in equals CORREL, correl. Parentheses, and then we're going to put the data for our first variable, which is in boxes A2 through A15, then comma, then the data for our second variable, which is boxes B2 through B15. Close parentheses, hit enter. Our correlation coefficient is 0.99. You should know at this point is a significant correlation, right? Because it's more than 0.5. We can see it as well by graphing the data. So if we highlight the data and we click on Insert Chart and change our chart type to a scatter chart, then we can see that there's certainly a linear correlation here because all the data does seem to almost form a straight line. We can graph a line, a trend line, if we are in Customize and we go to Series, scroll down to check the box that says Trend Line, and we'll have our trend line that shows us how close those data values are to a linear line. And they are all very close, which makes sense with a correlation coefficient of 0.99. I mean, it's almost perfectly linear. So, going back to our homework question, when it asks us to give the correlation coefficient, we can say, it says rounded to 3 decimal places, so we can say 0.993 for this data. Some of the other questions ask you to say whether it's significant or not. So significant correlation would be close to 1 or -1. Negative correlation if it's close to -1. Positive correlation if it's close to 1. So that's how you would analyze for correlation coefficient and graphing a correlation using Google Sheets.